What is going on, Washington Commander family? It is your boy Raise Hell Zell back again with another video, man. And I just did a live stream, but it immediately got taken down because of copyright infringement. So apparently can't review the highlights on the live stream. So we just gonna talk about the game from yesterday, man. And it was a great one. It was a complete team win. Commanders win 41-24 over the Las Vegas Raiders. And me personally, coming into the game, I was kind of skeptical. I was like, dang, we looked good for week one, could have played a lot better, and then we looked pretty bad week two against the Packers. Was hoping that we kind of blew them out, because I felt like the Raiders were not on our level, and boy, did we ever. Even though we put up 41, I felt like we could have put up 60 easily if we didn't shoot ourselves in the foot with missed field goals and penalties that stalled drives, and including that Marcus Mariota fumble. I think we were on a scoring that drive as well. So let's unpack some things, man. In this video, I want to talk about three good things real quick for y'all, three bad things. Not going to be a long video, going to be pretty short. So let's get into it, man. If you are tuning into the video, please like, subscribe, and comment. And I'll really appreciate it, and it'll help me grow my channel. So I could put out more content like this for y'all in the future, man. First off, I'm gonna go over three good things. Let's get the three good things out the way. Now, when I get to the bad things, they might be some reaches because there's really not too many bad points to pull from this specific game. But there are some things that I am concerned with going forward, and we could talk about those things. But first, let's get into the good things. First off, special teams. Special teams, man. This team, like Dan Quinn, he's been preaching it, man. This team special teams is definitely one of our strong suits. Deebo Samuel, I know for me personally, I was kind of skeptical putting Deebo Samuel back there, but every week he proves me wrong, bro. Leave him back there because, and the reason I was skeptical because I didn't want him to get injured on special teams, similar to how Austin Eckler got injured, even though he was really good on special teams. And I just didn't want him to get injured. I didn't even want to put him in that predicament to get injured. I wanted him to be as healthy as he possibly could be on the offensive side of the field. But man, if every week he's back there, he has a good return that puts us in great position at least one time. And he did it again this past Sunday. Jalen Lane finally took one to the house. It's been looking like he was going to eventually take one to the house. And Sunday, it was the day that he actually did it. Man, teams are going to have to figure that out when they play us because that is one of our strong suits. And I don't know if they can actually stop that, especially on kick return. I know Luke McCaffrey out there back there on kick return, but man, I think we should put Jalen Lane back there with Deebo Samuel because that way they cannot try to kick it away from Deebo Samuel. Because when you try to kick it away from Deebo, Jalen Lane is on the other end. And both of those guys are dynamic. So I think that'll be the change going forward because Jalen Lane and Deebo back there on kick return just changes the game. You can't, because I feel like going forward, they're going to start to kick it away from Deebo. They're going to kick it to Luke McCaffrey's side. So to combat that, if you put Jalen Lane back there, you gotta choose one. Pick your poison, pretty much. So special teams is really good. Again, Jalen Lane returned it for a 90 yards touchdown. I have a feeling that won't be his only return on the season. And also Deebo Samuel looked really good. But I'm not going to include Matt Gay mixed kicks. We got to bring in somebody else, man. At least for competition. Let's not bench him yet because we put the money in. But bro, I have a feeling, man, we're going to be going through this all season with Matt Gay, and it doesn't feel good. We saw the writing on the wall in the preseason. I don't know what's taking them so long to get somebody else in here. But just cut your losses, man. Cut your losses. I know you paid them the money, but at least bring somebody else in. That's the thing that's messing me up. But moving on to point number 2 of the good things, the running game dominance. We finally established a great running game. And for me to pull up the stats real quick, I just want to pull up the team stats. We had 201 rushing yards as a squad, which was awesome. Which was completely which is great. We have 201 rushing yards as an offense compared to their 93. I know we held just Ashton Genty in check most of the time, other than that one rush that he had. I think it was for like 15 yards where he ran over Quan Martin. And I don't even blame Quan Martin, bro. Ashton Genty like a big ass bowling ball running down the field if you let him get ahead of steam. So man, our rushing game was the highlight of our offense. We finally got that together. I know that was the big question mark about the Packers game as to why we went away from the run so early. And we did not. I mean, Cliff Kingsbury was in his bag again yesterday, and it showed. It really showed. It definitely showed. Jeremy McNichols, of course, had that 60-yard touchdown run, showed off his speed at his age. Offensive line opened up a pretty big hole for him, and then he just bounced off tackles from there to actually get to the touchdown. But we had 3 overall rushing touchdowns on the day. So shout out to the run game. And then third, which shouldn't go unnoticed, is our backup QB stepping up. Our backup QB position is the third good thing. And I want to bring this up because this is something that, a lot of teams don't have. And they frankly can't get. It's hard enough to find a legit elite starting quarterback, but to find a starting quarterback and an elite second string quarterback is something that most teams just do not have. And I'm thankful for Marcus Mariota, because if Jaden goes down, we know and have confidence that Marcus Mariota can come in and not miss a step. And it's back to regular schedule program, even as if Jaden never left. Because Marcus fits into this offense. They have very similar play styles, and he's just good. He fits in with what Cliff Kingsbury wants to do. The only knock I can give him is that fumble. I mean, I don't know what he thought on that play, trying to just he tried to put a little much dip on his chip that play, man. He tried to weave and waddle and leap, and the ball just came out his hands. But he had a good passing day. I think Terry should have scored that touchdown. But I thought that was a touchdown. I don't think his knee touched or his hip touched before the ball broke the plane, but they decided it wasn't a touchdown. We ended up scoring anyway, so that's that. But those are the 3 good things. And then to hop into the 3 bad things for y'all. Before I even get into that, bro, are we ever going to force turnovers? I just feel like this team, Joe Witt Jr., he preaches turnovers so much. He preaches, he don't even say ball his life anymore, but he does preach turnovers so much. And it just feels like we can't get them. I don't know if we're the only team left in the league that doesn't have a turnover yet. We do not have a turnover through 3 weeks of football. I know coming into the game, we were 6. It was only 6 teams, and we was one of the 6 teams that did not have a turnover yet on the season. And I don't know, bro. This was the game to get it. Again, we play Falcons next week, so we might get one or there, but I'm not even looking to get turned. I'm not even going to add that in keys to victory, because I see it when I believe it with this team, man. But they play really well as a defense yesterday. But we just can't get turnovers. I just don't understand why. But anyways, first bad thing per se, was the secondary giving up some big plays. And again, I know these are going to be kind of stretched because we outplayed the Raiders on so many levels yesterday. But that first drive they had, I think it was Trey Tucker or Jacoby Myers. They had that big catch. We ended up holding them to a field goal, so that's really good. But they just drove down the field so quick. I think it was Mikey Sainristil that had that busted coverage play. That was kind of concerning because I thought we was going to see more of what our defense looked like against the Packers after that drive, but quickly they got it together overall. But yeah, man, they gave up some bad chunk plays. I know they gave up some chunk plays in the fourth quarter as well, but we were playing a soft zone. It was garbage time. I'm not really blaming them or any of that stuff, but Um, if you look at the stats for Geno Smith, his stats look great. I mean, 19 for 29, 289 yards, 3 touchdowns, no turnovers. Quarterback passer rating of 132, QBR of 78.6. Like he had on paper it looked solid, but if you watch the game, bro, it was dominant. And a lot of them stats came again in the fourth quarter. They had 2 touchdowns. It was garbage time stats for sure. But moving on to the second bad point or take from the game was the penalties and missed chances. And this goes back to the missed field goals, man. We got to figure out the Matt Gay situation, because this feels a little bit like last season where we didn't have a legit kicker or a kicker that we trusted. We kept having to go for fourth downs. But this season, it seems like they're giving Matt Gay they're giving him more chances. They paid him this money, so they're going to ride with their guy, and I get it. But I've seen enough, man. I've seen enough of Matt Gay, because, and I know you kind of got to ride with your guy. I get that, but I want us to be the fourth down team that we were last season at this point, because how many times are we going to rely on Matt Gay until he loses a game for us? He hasn't lost a game for us yet, technically, even though he missed a kick last week against the Packers that he should have made, but I don't think that game was on him by any means. But how many chances are we going to give him to the point where we really need him, and he misses a kick and it costs us a game? And then they're like, okay, time to get him out of here. Is that what we're waiting for? Is that really what we should do? And I don't think that's the way that things should go. But we got to figure something out. If we need to bring in Younghoe Koo, and I get that Younghoe Koo isn't the best kicker right now, but some competition or something got to happen, bro. Because again, how many weeks are we going to let go by until we realize the guy ain't it? But hopefully he get it together. Hopefully I'm wrong, and hopefully he does just start stacking up those field goals. But again, penalties, man. We had 7 penalties today. I would like that number usually to stay around 4 or 5, but we had 7 penalties as a team for 54 yards. And some of those stalled drives. I can vividly remember the Terry McLaurin penalty when he false started. That kind of stalled that drive. I remember a play where it kind of stalled another drive where both of our tackles did some weird stuff. Again, 7 penalties is just too much, man. It's just too much. And we got to figure out something that, where we don't have that many penalties, bro. But again, I'm not going to be, these are things that I'm trying to grab because we played so dominantly yesterday. So I'm not too bad. I'm not really mad on them, but it is some things to think about in the future, because that first game was against the Giants. We had a lot of penalties that game too. And we had a lot of penalties last week. So that's something that we got to keep in the back of our mind moving forward, that we got to figure out. And last but not least, my third thing that I will worry about is the O-line depth and consistency. And I know our O-line probably played the best game this season so far, I would say. But I'm still having some issues because Marcus Mariota did have times back there where he was scrambling around, but the only reason why I'm worried is because the overarching reason why I'm really worried overall is because Jaden Daniels injured the second week into the season. Granted, it wasn't like a sack or anything. It was a run, but he didn't have any time. He escaped the pocket to escape the sack, and he got injured. But again, these are points that I'm trying to grab because we were so dominant yesterday. But the O-line does still concern me a little bit. The Raiders pass rush really isn't anything to scoff. Like I don't think they're up there other than Max Crosby. He's really, really good. But overall, their pass rush isn't really anything to really be fearful of. So I kind of expected the effort and the way the game went, at least for us on the pass rush side. But we do still have to continue to improve. Brandon Coleman not playing, that was weird. I still don't have an explanation for that. I know I heard people talking about it on Twitter, like, hopefully it's not nothing like, like he just refused to play when they found out they was benching him for this game. I know Dan Quinn talked about it a little bit. They were trying different things to try to make that unit as strong as possible. So that's why I think they played Chris Paul, if I'm not mistaken. And the thing that kind of threw me off though was the fact that Brandon Coleman didn't even suit up. Like he was a healthy scratch. Like even if Chris Paul got injured, why like Brandon Coleman isn't there to put into the game? Like that's the crazy thing for me that I'm thinking about. Um also, um yeah. O-line. That's my last point. O-line, man. I'm still having some concerns there, but overall, man, we were so dominant yesterday. I really don't have too much to really, talk about or scoff at like that, but yeah, man, it is what it is. That's all I got for y'all, man. I told you it's gonna be as short of a video as I possibly could make it. Those are the 3 good things I took from the game, 3 bad things I took from the game. If you tuned into the stream or if you're watching the playback, please like, subscribe, and comment. Turn on that notification bell so you get notified every time I drop a video just like this one. But let me know down in the comments, man. What was your biggest moment from the game? What was the greatest thing that you saw yesterday? My biggest thing overall was the run game. My most positive thing I can take from yesterday was how good the run game looked. The biggest bad thing or most concerning thing I can take from yesterday was the penalties and the missed chances, because honestly we should have put up 60 on them boys. Should have put up 60. But yeah, man. Again, please like, subscribe, comment. I appreciate everyone who tuned into this video. And man, y'all enjoy the rest of y'all day, man. Peace out.